What's up guys, it's Chachi Power here to do a review of a Figma figure. It's my very first Figma, my very first Max Factory anything. And as you can see, it's wrapped in tissue just so you can see how it's normally supposed to be. I think this is from factory to protect the box from who knows what, somebody sneezing on it I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and take this tissue off so we can see what's underneath. Now we got the tissue off, you'll see this is Figma number 203. This is Mikasa Ackerman. Mikasa es su casa. She's from Attack on Titan. If you guys have not seen the anime, and I've stressed this many times before, I don't watch animes. Just not really into it. I just like what's in them. But I watched this and it was so incredibly addicting. I think I watched the whole series in like 2 days. I stayed up all freaking night and morning just watching one right after the other. Like you literally cannot stop watching. So it's on Netflix right now and also Crackle, I think. Check it out. It's awesome. But anyway, continuing on along, this is one of the protagonists on this show. She's female, she's cool, she does her thing. Just watch the show. I'm not going to go through the whole thing in this review. I'm just going to review the figure. So if you are a fan of Attack on Titan, you know who she is, you know what she does, and you know the cool stuff that you can expect from this. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. Alright, the figure is sealed. Back here, the box with the little round sticky thing. So we'll go ahead and cut that to open it. But before I do that, to show you the back of the box here, which you'll see right away, she's got extra alternate faces. You'll see the proportions are really nice. You'll see the articulation is excellent. And of course, this stuff that goes on here, which is called the three-dimensional maneuver gear. All right, and I would love to go into how this works, but watch the damn show. But basically, I guess I'll give you a rundown of what the show is for you guys watching this that are just fans of my reviews and not necessarily fans of the show. But picture humans a long time ago being attacked by naked, gigantic, stupid giants that eat people. All right, I know that sounds stupid, but hear me out. So they would attack the humans, and the humans were on the brink of extinction. And what happened is they ended up building walls. And some of these walls would get breached by giants, so they just would keep getting pushed in. So they set up, you know, people that would help defend, which would be these guys and girls. And they would use these little maneuver gears to jump around from tree to tree and building to building, wall to wall, to get rid of these giants. And the giants, you can't just like stab them in the gut or whatever. You got to actually stab them at the base of the neck and the back. They'd literally, I'm pointing with this thing, they would literally slice like a pie-shaped thing out of their neck on the back, like right on the base of the spine, where the head connects to the shoulders, and that would actually kill them. Otherwise, what you're doing is pretty much in vain, because they will just regenerate and whatever and attack you again. So having said that, let's move on along and check out the figure. And if I can be perfectly honest, guys, when I ordered this, I pre-ordered it right after I watched the show. So into the show, I'm like, I'm going to buy all the stuff. But honestly, I'm not a big action figure person. I do have a lot of figures, don't get me wrong. I have more than the average person, but I was kind of all like hyped up on the show, and I ordered it. And then when I finally got the payment thing for this, I'm like, you know, because it's about 50-60 bucks, this thing. And I'm thinking like, you know, probably would have spent it on robots. But now that I have it, just decided to keep it because it is cool. So let's take a look. All right, so she's nice and protected right here with this little piece of plastic. All right, then she's got more plastic wrapping around her here. So if you really just grab this figure and you think about it, I paid 50 bucks for this little stupid thing. Yeah, it does seem like a ripoff. I mean, this it's higher quality than what you would normally find on standard figures you pick up off the shelf. But this is a few steps above what you would buy in a store for 15 bucks, let's say. But yeah, pretty expensive. But most stuff from Japan is for us guys here in the U.S. But yeah, so this is the figure. It's got the Wings of Freedom, it's called, tampo printed here about 5 times on the figure. It's got the scarf, one of her favorites, or actually her favorite scarf, which she wears a lot in the show. And it's got the jackets, which are all high cut here, and on just all the regular straps, and obviously her boots and whatnot, and her fists, which are replaceable. Okay, before we move on to the other stuff, we're going to show the articulation. The head moves on a ball joint. If you guys are not familiar with Figmas, this is my first one, but they are known for their articulation. So I don't expect this to be any different than all the other figures I've read about. So you got the head going around here, you got the shoulder. All right, even though she does have a jacket on, the arms are separate here, so you can still get some articulation going on. And you notice the joints are pretty firm. They really stay where you want them. Even though you're flexing this plastic, the plastic gives enough so that it doesn't push the arms down. Some figures you push up and then it gets pushed down by the plastic. I'm not having this problem with this figure here. Then you get the elbows, and I do love the joints they're using there. You do have the upper chest, waist, not much forward and back, just a slight movement. And you do have the skirt here, which is also soft, so it allows you to bring the legs out, and you'll see it does a good job of not splitting too much and looking stupid. Again, very firm. I'm sure after a while this would get loose, but this isn't necessarily a full-blown toy, so it's more for people who just want to pose it every once in a while. So you should be fine for a good bit. You got the knees, which have really good articulation. You got the ankles right here for the foot, and you also got the toes, which really nice. Didn't realize that till just now. And so very nice articulation, guys. Now that we've taken care of the articulation, I'll go ahead, pop off her head, and get rid of this little plastic thing so it doesn't really block what's going on. You'll notice you can remove the head. Not only can you remove the head, you'll see the face is also separate. You can remove the faces. Now, some of you will probably end up liking this enough to buy it, especially after watching the show. And you'll probably hit up eBay, whoever, because she's pretty much sold out in most places at her regular retail price. What I do want to stress is that if you go on eBay, you are going to find they're really cheap. That is because that is a KO version of her. All right. I've looked online. I haven't seen anybody do a review of the KO version of her, but there are KO reviews of other Figma figures, and there's no way she's $26 with free shipping. Otherwise, I'd be very upset. So be careful. I know knockoffs. I do a lot of knockoff reviews, and I know they're very similar, but if you don't want to buy a knockoff, if you see the ones for $26, that's what they are. If you don't mind, you can pick her up. I don't know how good the knockoffs are compared to this, but if anybody makes a review, please let me know. So anyway, moving right along. All right, so there's this plastic here. Okay, not familiar with Figmas. This is my first one, so I don't know what this Ziploc bag is for. Apparently it's to put sandwiches in. You also get a stand here. All right, I'm not a big fan of stands, although to really properly display her, she needs to be in really dramatic poses, which are going to require the stand. So I'm not going to open the stand because I may end up selling this. I don't really have space for it, but just so you know, the stand is there, which allows you to do a lot of her popular moves on screen, and a bunch of little hands. And it does have the little ropes that she climbs with for her maneuver gear. And there's more bits here with hooks. I think these hooks are for the wall climbs, so you can hook them around whatever display you have for her to climb. Okay, and then there is a little instruction booklet, right, which shows you all the pieces. And let's see what's going on inside. All right, so it pretty much just shows you how to install everything. There's actually effects pieces for the exhaust and the gas burst of the maneuver gear, because the maneuver gear shoots hooks and stuff that are propelled by a gas canister that needs to be refilled. So they actually do run out, which causes really suspenseful scenes in the show. So it's a really cool thing. Instead of like unlimited energy, they will run out, and of course they have to fight the monsters without their gear. So very cool. But anyway, shows you how to attach the blades and whatnot. And there is a caution here, and not to put too much stress on these pieces of the maneuver gear back here. All right, so you don't want to stress those too much. Apparently they might end up breaking. I don't know. And yeah, so let's move right along with that. Let's take out the maneuver gear. Here is the maneuver gear. Pretty complicated little bit here, and it actually looks really nice, guys. I'm loving the paint job, and nice glossy bits here and there. The colors, the paint is absolutely beautiful. It's got a nice gunmetal type paint. Really looks like this is possibly metal, but we obviously know it's not. It's just little bits of plastic, but it has a very convincing look. And you get all the hoses, and I'm hoping these hoses do not deteriorate, hard to say that, over time. Right now, since it's new, it's flexible, but as with all plastics, they dry out. So only time will tell, guys. All right, so that's the maneuver gear there. And then we got the alternate faces. We have the blades here with the handles. Then underneath we have her cape and the effects pieces back here. So we'll go ahead and check that out. So I'm going to open this, and then I'm just going to attach all the bits on the figure just to show you what it is. I'm not going to do a lot of posing. I probably won't be opening much of these bits, but you'll get the general idea of what you get with this figure. Now I did want to show you some of the stuff she comes with. Right here in my hand is this little plastic blade. You see it's nice and straight. I hate when weapons are crooked, especially PVC weapons. This apparently is not PVC, it's actual plastic, which allows it to retain its straight form, but you do need to be careful. In the show, these things are meant to break off, just like the X-Acto knives or whatever, those little box cutters. In the show, this is meant to break off when they wear out. Alright, you don't want to do this with the toy. I thought this set came with shorter versions, but apparently not, unless I'm missing something here. I thought it did for some reason, but these are the ones you get, so be careful with these. And let's see what else she's got. The different faces, which I was telling you about. I do want to show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and remove, actually what I'm going to do is remove her little scarf, which is PVC, and replace it with this little collar here. Right, so I'm going to place her collar right there. That's what you would use if you're not using the scarf. And then the face, hopefully the face is easy. Oh, right, the whole front here comes off. Replace the face. Let's give her a meaner looking face here. Alright, and replace that. So now you got the mean face going. Pop that back on. Oh, actually before I put that on, I do want to put the little green cape here with the hooded cape. Alright, now this also has the Wings of Freedom, which is a Survey Corps logo. There's different groups doing different things in the show, and she's part of the Survey Corps. So this goes right on there. Then we replace the head. Alright, so it actually looks really cool with that cape here. I wish it included one that's draped down, but apparently this is not a toy you just want to stand there you know, being idle. This is something you want to have in great action poses, so it really is nice to have a cape like that. Alright guys, so what I want to do next is attach the maneuver gear. I would suggest following the instructions. I'm not necessarily doing it in the order that it asked for, because I'm too lazy to look at it, but apparently this goes in the back. And again, don't push on these little side round things, okay? And then these go right into the leg here, and they're keyed, so they only go in at a certain angle, I believe, right? Yeah, they're keyed. You'll see a flat spot right on the maneuver gear. You want to get it squared in like that. All right, and it does allow movement. There is, they are on a ball joint, those little pieces that go in. Now originally I did say I wasn't going to open the baggies. There's a couple I don't want to open, like the ones to hang from a wall. I don't really have anything to be able to show you that feature. So, but I do want to show you the maneuver gear properly. All right, so in order to use these blades, I am going to have to remove the hands that she is using right now. All right, so I want the maneuver gear hands, which I believe are these. Yep, you'll see the fingers go right in those holes. They're very lined. Look at that. Fingers go, I don't know if you could see that, but the fingers go right in the holes there for the triggers. Alright, so we got that one. We're going to want to remove this one. And where's the other blade? And it does come with, you'll notice they don't have the hands don't have the little, what do you call it, ball joints. They're on the other hand. It does come with an extra one in case you lose it, because they are very, very small ball joints. So we'll go ahead and attach these fingers on this one, and then simply remove. I probably should have done this before I attached all the crap on her, but anyway, simply go ahead and attach that as you would any other figure that uses peg-in joints. This isn't as easy as I thought. They do have to fiddle with it a bit to get them in. Oh, that one went in fine. Alright, so there you got the blades. Now you'll see there's little hoses, and these things like to pop out, I've noticed. So just keep that in mind. And these little hoses, you'll see they've got little square ends. They go on the back of the blade, just like so. So I'm going to go ahead and attach those. See if I can do it while I'm filming here. Alright, so that went in easy enough. And then we do the other side. Alright, so that was actually pretty good. Now you'll see this looks like a $50–$60 figure. Before it didn't, but you're not going to get details like this on a $15 figure. I don't care what anybody says. But yeah, but again, this thing falls out. Maybe I didn't peg it in the right angle. Alright, now normally these gas tanks are removable in the show to be replaced. They're not on the toy. And you'll see all these little bits here. Those are actually replacement blades. So blades would come out, these would get tossed. She would stab this part into this, pull out a new blade. You can't pull out the new blades on a toy, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Now, the maneuver gear, for her to be able to climb through trees, shoots out spikes with ropes on them. Alright, again, I would love to do the whole rope thing, but I don't have anything to really be able to show you guys properly. So what I'm going to do is show you the other feature it comes with, which emulates the ropes being shot out. Okay, so that's a cool thing if you don't have, as I lose all the bits back here, so it's cool if you don't have anywhere to hang the ropes. You can do this, which attaches to these holes. Alright, right here on the side, so you got to be careful. There we go. They go on nice, but you just got to be careful what you're pushing on, because these are very delicate little thin pieces of plastic and PVC. So you'll get the effect of these things shooting out. Now these spikes would just tear into a wall or a tree, and then these round things apparently are geared and spring-loaded or something. And once she would hook onto something, it would shoot her up into the tree or whatever, and that's how she would maneuver back and forth above the buildings and above the trees, because the giants are big, and she'd jump on their back and just cut their neck open and kill them. And she's actually very good at doing that. Now, another little effect thing that the set comes with is this little exhaust trail, which replaces, I'm pointing at it with the tip, right up here. You can remove this cap and place that there. Alright, and it's a good way to hide the stand. So the stand would actually connect to the back here. So you pop that up. I'm not going to do it on this one, but you'll pop it up, place that right there, and then the stand will go on the back. And it's a neat way to pose her like they do in the box and hide the stand at the same time, or have it be away from the figure. Now, while going over the effects parts that this come with, I realized I forgot to put the effects parts on this piece here. It's supposed to replicate the those things being blasted out. Having a little difficulty popping this in here, probably doing it wrong, but you get the idea. It's a little blast effect for these things that shoot out. It's a little pressure from the gas. Now, to really take advantage of this figure, you'd have to put it in all the crazy poses that she does in the show, with her knees forward and jumping from tree to tree, and you would really need to use a stand. I'm not going to open up the stand. I don't use stands. But if you guys like the show and you like to do all your poses, the stand is there for you. The articulation is there. It's just a wonderful figure, guys. I'm actually happy that I didn't cancel. I was going to at the last minute, but I think this even sparked my interest into watching the show again. So again, I do recommend watching the show. You may not like the figure right now, but believe me, once you watch the show, you're going to want to stock up on Attack on Titan stuff. I don't know if there's subliminal messages in that show, but really, when I watched that show, I just was all over it. But I think that's going to bring me to the end of the review, guys. Hopefully, this review is enough for you to understand what the figure's about. If you want to check out some really cool pictures of this being posed, you check out collectiondx.com. There's actually a review there by one of the reviewers that took a few pictures, talks a little bit about the figure. So make sure you check it out if you really like this figure. And also, again, can't stress it enough, watch the damn show. It's free on Netflix if you have Netflix, or just check it out online. If you have any questions and comments, especially you big fans that may want to comment on something I may have missed, please leave the comments below. That's why they're there. And until next time, bye-bye.